Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear students, as I promised you that I will be making a video to make you understand this chapter. So here we are. In this video, I will be making you understand half part of the chapter, and hopefully inshallah in the next part, that is the next video, we will be covering the next part of the chapter. So basically what we are going to learn this chapter 6, our mouth taste and digestion, is two things. The first one you can see here, digestion process in our mouth. Yes, you heard me correctly. Okay, although it seems quite awkward, I am pronouncing the word digestion as digestion, not digestion. This is the correct pronunciation, but most of us don't know the correct pronunciation. So digestion is the correct pronunciation, not digestion. So we will be learning about digestion process in our mouth and taste. So without delaying, let us start our lesson. So in this video, we will be discussing about digestion process in our mouth. And I hope that you already know the meaning of digestion, or you have somewhere heard this term before, digestion. So digestion is the process by which we make use of the food we eat. That is, we convert the food into energy. Okay. Why do we eat food? Why do we eat food? For energy, for attaining, for gaining energy. Okay. And why do we need energy? For doing work. So food, energy and doing work are interrelated. Okay. And the process which converts the food which we eat into energy is digestion. So digestion has different stages. In this chapter we will be discussing about the stage, the process which especially takes place in our mouth. Okay. The main digestion process takes place in our stomach, which we will not be discussing about in this chapter. Rather, we will be discussing about the first stage, the first process of digestion that takes place in the very mouth through which you intake the food. Okay. So let me ask a question to you. What is your favorite dish? A very common question. What is your favorite dish? Is it sweet? Is it sweeter in taste or savory in taste? Savory means it rhymes with flavory. Okay, the food which is being cooked in your house contains spices and salty. So the food which have flavor and which are very pleasing in taste and smell are savory. Okay, so in general they may be salty as well as spicy. Okay, so the foods which are spicy and salty and pleases our are pleasing to smell and taste are savory. So we can take examples: chocolates, okay, kheer, etc. And the desserts which you have, okay, especially cooked in your home at home. So the favorite dish which you like, your favorite dish, is it sweeter or savory? Please type your favorite dish along with the taste in the group and let me know what sort of flavor you like the most. Now the second question is, have you ever noticed that your mouth starts to water? Okay, we start to water as soon as we hear about our favorite dish. Okay, so suppose your favorite dish is chocolate and your friend's favorite dish is biryani, which is savory. Okay, biryani. So whenever, if these food items are your favorite dish, whenever you hear the name of this food item, your mouth starts to water. Saliva accumulates in your mouth. What is the reason behind this? Can you answer? Very interesting question, and we should know the answer. There is a scientific reason for that. Okay, so think about this. What is the reason behind this? Inshallah, I will be telling you about the reason in the next video, inshallah. Okay, now let us move ahead. So did you understand the question? The question is, when you hear about your favorite dish, your mouth starts to water. What is the reason behind that? Okay, I will be giving you the reason in the next video, but before that, think over it. I hope that you know the answer, some of you. Let us move ahead. Now let us try to understand the process of digestion in our mouth. So in front of you, you can see we have the diagram of mouth, which I said you to draw in the last class, that is yesterday. I said you to draw this. So these are the teeth, this is the tongue, this is the oral cavity, this is the oral cavity. Oral cavity means the hole through which you intake the food inside your body. These are the salivary glands. Okay, and you can see this lines which designates the salivary glands. And what are salivary glands, I will be explaining you in this video, inshallah. Okay, now the step 1. So what are the steps through which the food undergo for digestion? Step 1, bite food with your teeth, with our teeth. What we do, we bite food with our teeth. We cannot consume a complete apple or a or any other food directly without biting or without chewing it. Can you? You can't. Otherwise you will get choked. Okay, you can't do that. It will, otherwise the food particles, if not broken into smaller pieces, they will get stuck to your throat. Okay, and they may choke you. You may have breathing problems. So the first step is to bite food with our teeth. We bite the food with our teeth. The second step is to chew food with our teeth. So after biting, after having a bite, a small portion of the food, that is morsel of the food, जिसको लुकमा बोलते हैं, chew food with our teeth. We chew food with our teeth. Now, have you noticed that the taste changes when we take more food and chew? Have you noticed this difference? That is, for the very first time when you take the morsel, a bite of the food, okay, the taste is different when you start taking more amount of food and chewing, and you start to chew it. Okay, there is a difference between the taste. You know what is the reason behind that? Have you noticed that the taste changes when you take more food and chew? Okay, so that what do you mean by this is that the first morsel you took, the taste, and you liked the taste, will be quite different than the next morsels of food which you will take. And what is the reason behind that? Because of the digestion process. This is because of the digestion process that takes place in the mouth. Because of the digestion process, the taste changes when we take more amount of food and start to chew it. Okay. So what are the stages of digestion in our mouth? 2 stages. Mastication. The first stage is mastication, and the second stage is to make the food, chewed food, grinded food, masticated food into balls known as bolus. So again I am repeating. What are the two stages of digestion in our mouth? The first stage is mastication and the second stage is the masticated stage, yani making the masticated food particles into balls called bolus. So what is mastication? Mastication is the term given to these two steps which I just discussed in front of you. What is that? Chewing and grinding. Chewing and grinding the food particles, that is breaking the food into smaller pieces, is known as mastication. The process of chewing and grinding the food particles and breaking the food into smaller pieces is mastication. What is the second stage? The second stage is these grinded and chewed broken food particles are mixed with saliva. All of us secrete saliva. We have saliva. So this saliva get mixed with these food particles, and with the help of our tongue we make these food particles into balls, into small balls, and that they are known as boluses, so that we can swallow these food easily. Okay, for making these food particles, for making the food swallowed easily, we make bolus. Hope you understood.